Pocono Posse, right out of the Poconos here.
Wow.
Their rendition of Mississippi Queen.
Pretty on the money to start.
Well, I own the rights to this song, so
Nice.
they can't say anything.
Around Louisiana way, live the Cajun lady.
Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi, Douglas.
Morning, Doug. How you doing today?
Was getting their kicks, but he beg your pardon, I was getting mine. Mississippi Queen, if you know what I mean. Mississippi Queen, she taught me everything. This lady, she asked me if I could be the man.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. How are you, Douglas? Good to see you. Welcome in.
Oh, here I am trying to figure out what the fuck are GM buds. I've not heard of GM buds before.
Good morning.
Oh, I'm thinking weed.
Beg your pardon, I was spending mine.
Pete, how are you? What's going on, Pete? How are you? Welcome in, everybody. Good morning. We're just getting started.
Was making them bread, but I beg your pardon, I was losing mine.
What's that?
Mississippi Queen.
WTHC. Good morning, everybody out there on Live 365 and tune in. And, of course, everybody over here on Facebook and YouTube. And please do us a favor, share it out to any of those groups that you have. Oh, by the way, DoktorHigh, I read your message about this, how to share it thing. And I actually tried it, and I have to upgrade my package before I'm able to do so.
Wouldn't it be nice to be able just to upgrade your package in many different ways in this life, eh?
Yes, they always have
life was just as simple as upgrading your package.
Yeah, it's always, of course, you have to upgrade everything to be able to do the next thing possible. So, I went and looked at it. So my wife says there's still a way that you could share it to your, like your Facebook or your YouTube. I guess you would just have to go, but whatever. We'll get it all figured out. Yeah, it'll happen. I have to upgrade. I was pretty happy with the fact that I could have you here. I don't know if I need any more boxes for more crazy people up here. But anyway, how was your weekend?
My weekend was okay. I spent the whole weekend researching and writing and selecting art, and I put together some blog posts and got them ready to publish. And
So you didn't have off. Basically, you worked all weekend.
No. I worked probably more this weekend than I did during the week. Yeah. Well, once I get into that frame of mind, right, I got to go.
Once you get going, you got to go. Yeah. Hi, Gary. How are you, sweetie? Good morning, everybody over there. You guys are awesome. Please share it out, everybody. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. Good morning, Lori.
Nice.
I left Lori sleeping in the other room.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she was hanging out in the room, and I think she dozed off. She won't admit it. She'll be like, no, I was just laying there listening.
Could have got the indica instead of the sativa this morning.
Yeah, it could have been the indica. It was a rough day for her yesterday. She's got, she's got some relaxation she needs to catch up on.
Right.
Anyway, there's Curly Cal. She's busy today, so we'll have a lot less of her annoying the hell out of us.
Busy.
Yeah, she's back to work. Her vacation's over. Thank goodness. She's been quiet all morning. It's been wonderful.
Nice.
I love you, Curly Cal.
Good to
work. I don't want to jump right into it, but I want to jump right into it.
Oh, that's what I'm curious about.
High five.
Oh, yeah? Nice. Oh, my hand disappeared.
You got to have it in front of you. Yeah. So I went. All right. I don't have hands to help. So, but I went and I went and I went and I still spent a ton of money because it's a lot of money. But I went and I got a distillate cart, I think. All right. I should have left the damn lights on so I could see. I got that berry gelato that you was telling me about.
Okay, that was the first one I looked at. That was up around, what, 77%? That one?
No.
Or 86 or something? I don't know.
83 with the THCA.
Nice.
So THC was 82.9 or 82.63 or something like that. And then the THCA was, oh no, what's THCV?
Oh, THCV is tetrahydra cannabis.
That's 1% that.
So that is one that they're starting to find could help regulate appetite, which could actually, instead of stimulating the munchies, could actually have the opposite effect.
An appetite suppressant?
Yeah. Oh! It has the potential for the regulation of appetite.
Now they find it when I'm already old and fat.
Yeah,
already done all its damage.
I only heard about THCV maybe, I don't know, 3 years ago, the first time I heard about it. It's fairly new that I've known about it. I don't know how long people have known about it, but I first heard about it a couple of years ago, 3 years ago maybe.
Wow.
And that's what they say.
I got 2 of those, okay? So I have 2 full grams, but I'm already almost done with one. Now, one started on Friday when I went, and I'm still doing it. I still have like a quarter of it left, so I think I'm doing fairly well because usually
you're going to get about 4 days to 5 days out of a gram.
That's what I'm about to get. Yeah, it looks like
it's not bad.
That's the best I've ever done, though. Usually a gram a day.
That one was what, about $66?
It was on sale, actually. Remember, we went there. Actually, remember, I thought it was going to be a half gram. They didn't have any in the half gram. They ended up having the full grams.
Okay.
So I ended up getting full grams of those. Remember, they were going to, I think.
That's a cost per day of $10.
Not bad. Well, wait, we still got more to talk about. Hold on. We're not always.
If it lasts you 5 days.
Good morning, Christopher.
Morning, Chris. Had to comment this morning. Got some Alpha Hippie last night. Alpha Hippie, I've not heard of that strain.
Alpha Hippie.
Interesting, though. Hopefully it makes the colors more vivid and takes your mind back to the 60s.
Yeah. So I also went and took your advice and got myself a LLR.
LLR.
Liquid live resin.
Oh, a liquid live resin. Okay. I never heard of this. And today's the day, by the way. Happy 7/10 to everybody out there.
That's everybody. Yep.
7/10. That's the day. That was for oil.
All right. So they didn't have what we wanted.
Okay.
They had run out. So I got the next best thing, and this was at 79%.
Okay.
They
made
were
from which strain?
They were Cresco.
Oh no, not the company. What strain were the live resins made from?
Hold on. It's very small, and I got very bad eyes. And believe it or not, I have to take my glasses off to read.
Oh wow, I'm the opposite. Get your pen. Happy 7/10. That's good, Cal. We like that one.
Oh, petrol pine.
Petrol.
PETROL pine. Yep, petrol pine.
That's interesting.
78.
I've heard of that one before.
Oh, I was wrong. It's 78%, just about 79%.
Corrine's with us. Get your pen. Happy 7/10. Sounds like a great idea. Look at the color of that oil. That's nice. 2 grams of goodness in that beauty.
right. So I got that. The liquid live resin. I got 2 grams of that. 2 full carts of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, four half grams because they only came in half grams. Yeah, I agree, Corrine. I agree. They are a very good. Moxie's also good. I agree. You must be in Pennsylvania, aren't you?
Well, the thing is, as long as you're following the procedure properly when you're doing the extraction and then the formulation into distillate or live resin or whatever the case may be, companies should all be pretty close to the same in their final product. They really should be.
You would hope.
When you're looking at products like this, as long as the company is reputable for its processing, you know what I mean? And there's ways to look into companies. Customer reviews is the best usually. People will say it like it is, right? They're not afraid to knock it. But it comes at a point where, because the products are always going to be so similar between companies who are doing it right, price is important to look at too, right? Because you're going to get the same product from maybe a smaller company that has a good work ethic as you could from a company like Crisco or Moxie or whatever the case may be.
All right, well, here we go. Example A, Mystic Spirit. I've never heard of
that's disposable, Cal.
Mystic Spirit is a newer brand, I think, over here, unless that sticker's covering a different name. But I got Valley Forge OG. Valley Forge OG Indica.
Nice.
A full gram, but I don't know if this is a distillate or a liquid live resin.
Should say right on the package.
If it doesn't say anything, what would you assume it is?
That's a good question. If it doesn't say anything, I'd assume it's a distillate, because distillate is
and the high number, right? 86.
Yeah, that too.
It's got CBG in it.
Well, CBG is actually the precursor to THC. So if there's CBG in that, it's most likely a live resin.
I didn't open it, so I don't know. I mean, I could show you. Oh, the camera's here.
Oh, I remember seeing their packaging. It doesn't say on the package the method of extraction or the type of oil that's inside.
I mean, my eyes are horrible. I mean, in this tiny writing, it might say it.
Right. But CBG, most likely if it's distillate, if it's been distilled, then the CBG would have converted already out. So most likely wouldn't be there if it was a distillate. So I'm going to say that potentially is a live resin. What's the difference? Corrine wants to know what's the difference between the two. You mean between distillate and live resin? The difference between those two?
Yeah.
Live resin is made from the processing of fresh or fresh frozen plants. So you would do it either through supercritical CO2, which is there. It says you should use the CO2. So they can do it with CO2 oil. They can also do it through rosin, and they can do it through hydrocarbon extraction. All three of those methods will produce good live resin. I suspect, although I haven't seen it done or talked to anybody who's done it, it can be done with grape ethanol also. But then you get into the distillation process, right? So live resin, you don't want it to be processed by heat. You want it to be a cold process method. So CO2, hydrocarbon, those are cold process, and rosin's pretty low temp. You know what I mean? When you're doing it like this. So the distillate is going to be extracted in a variety of methods. Then it's put into alcohol. Then the alcohol is distilled off. And then as you rise through the temperatures, from 180 degrees up, at different temperature points, different compounds elements
not the safest one to do. I don't think that's the safest one if you're doing it yourself, right?
Well, no. You can't produce CO2 extraction yourself.
Oh,
the machines are like $1 million to start. They're big money, right?
And
it's super high pressure, and you wouldn't be doing that. But she's correct about
it being the safest to take
action. Yeah, because it's really it's food grade, pharmaceutical grade. CO2 is the highlight of extraction. But the thing is ultimately, depending on the end use of the product you're extracting.
Don't give me the finger, woman.
Some of that doesn't matter, right? Because if you're going to do distillate, if you're going to make distillate, you don't need to extract via CO2 because you still need to go through two processes first. You need to take your cannabis concentrate, you need to add it to alcohol. You need to emulsify it in the alcohol. You need to do what they call winterizing. And winterizing is where you remove the fats because plants have fat in them, right? That's how come we have vegetable oils and stuff like that. Plant oils, they're fats and lipids. So those have to be removed in order to create a proper good oil. So you do that by putting it all into alcohol and then freezing it. Or you can't freeze alcohol, but you take it to a super cold temperature and the fats will solidify. And then you take that liquid and you pour it through what they call a Butner funnel, which is a funnel with with a filter on it, and it has a vacuum assist. So it pulls the pure oil through and the filter paper catches all the fat, right? From there, you go into a distillation process where you capture each individual component at its proper temperature. Live resin is not, you don't go through that process. It's simply extracted from a live plant. So the difference is one has all the important stuff for the medical benefit, and distillate focuses more on high THC percentage. So it's about purifying, right? The nature of distillation is to purify one thing. So you're trying to purify this or process it down to you're as pure of THC as possible in distillate. And in live resin, you want to have a full plant extract.
Right.
And that's the difference.
See, I knew that.
It's like a long explanation and maybe a bit
I had no
confusing, but yeah, it is a long explanation to get into, right?
Well, it was a great explanation. I loved every moment. I was sitting on the edge of my seat.
CO2 is really
it's the best way.
And it's weird, like your concentrate comes out looking like soft serve ice cream from the equipment.
So does my poop. Is that because of that?
Well, no, probably not. But
all right. All right. Anyway, so let's get back to me for a second because this is all about me.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So tell me more about your experience.
So then I got to the section where I was like, wow, I still have some cash left. So then I was like, all right, well, then let's get some flour for myself. So I have a little flour just in case. Remember, I was concerned about the carts going too fast.
Yeah.
So far, so good. I've been trying really hard to not overtake hits, and I've been doing good. I feel good. Like I've been taking 2 of the distillate, 2 good hits of the distillate pen, and then I take 2 hits off of the live resin pen, and then I put them down and I sit for a while. And I think about it 40 minutes later, and I'm like, I still feel pretty good, And I'm like, all right.
It hits fast, it hits nice, and you're really getting the multi benefit, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna explain. I opened up the distillate one first. It was a full gram, and I was like, all right, let me see what this is all about, because you told me it was gonna go to my head. And I'll tell you, honestly, you were 100% right. It went right to my head. I felt that head high. So for the first day, or the first 5 or 6 hours, 8 hours of the day, I was just on that distillate pen, and I was feeling good. But the pain, I could still feel the aches and the body pains. I mean, they were there, but not, because my head, I was like, they're there, but I'm dealing with it. Right. Then I said, fuck it. I'm going to pull open the the liquid live resin. I'm going to put it on because I bought 2 new pens because mine seem to disappear, children. But anyway, so I have 2 new pens. So I charged them both up. I got them going good. And then I put the liquid live resin on, and then I started taking 1 or 2 hits of that after taking 2 hits of this. And then all of a sudden, the body pain started to go away as well. I started to feel that overall feeling of goodness, but like I said, it always still wears off after quite some time, but
like any medication does.
Yeah, right. Except for some last 6 or 8 hours and some last only an hour, and mine hours just only lasts about an hour or so before you have
the side effects from the medication that last 6 or 8 hours are a whole lot more harmful to you than the side effects from the one that lasts an hour. So
I agree 100%. All right, so let me grab my flower.
Hey, Veronica, how are you? Samantha's with us.
Right,
Jeff.
So I went with they didn't have anything like that I was hoping for, but they did. What I did learn here, and this is a learning experience for anybody who does go to the dispensary and they try. So they had the same type of this girl after you were right. When I went in and I pretended like I knew what I was talking about, I got a totally different respect when I was there compared to when I go in and I say, here's $700, go get me whatever I want.
Yep.
This time the girl was like, okay. And then we sat and we worked together for about an hour. She was not happy. She wasn't happy, but she did it. And she did it.
You want to find the employee in that store?
Well, this is the first time I went back and
what I'm saying is you want to now that you've had the experience with this girl and you're saying she wasn't happy.
Love you, Jerry. Hi, Jeff. How are you? Hi,
next time you go to that store, work with a different employee. They'll have the same experience, and you want to find the one that enjoys spending that time with you. That's the one you want to work with.
I agree. The way it was is, you don't really get a choice to kind of have a line, and you kind of just get the next person available. But
yeah, I guess it depends on how busy the store is, right?
Yeah, some days you walk in and boom, you're up, and you can just go to whoever you want. But they're all standing there looking at you with drooling mouths, ready to, like they get paid on a commission or something. They're all standing there like, I'll help you. Come on over here. And I'm like, all right, chill, everybody, chill. I know I'm good.
Yeah, cannabis shouldn't be sold on commission in a dispensary.
I don't know if it is. I'm not saying it is.
I don't know if it is either, but
I'm saying they act like, their bosses are good and makes them act like they want to be there because they're like, hey, come on over. Everybody, the whole crowd of them, 6 of them standing behind there. They're all calling me at once. I'm like, damn, I'm good looking. Anyway.
I tell you, if I found a dispensary opportunity, I would go work in one tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep, I would. I'd go work in one tomorrow. I'd put in a couple days a week, 2 days a week, 3 days a week, because it's great.
I got to do a commercial real quick. We'll be right back. You guys hang out. We'll be right back. I got to run a commercial. Everybody out there live, 365, you rock.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now.
All right. So, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
Caregiver.
Getting a job.
So what are you going to do?
I'm working one now.
You're going to go grocery shopping. Cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You got to dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments.
Got your banana.
About the pharmacy. No, you won't. Because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up.
Vern's got a bad story. Oh, you got my banner. Yay.
Show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry.
Yeah, I'm about
School
over
lunch
the
will be her
rain
only meal
myself,
today.
man. I'm tired of it up here in
This is the
Pennsylvania.
reality in our country.
Again
Yeah.
today.
That
Rain,
Feeding America
rain.
That's what you were saying yesterday, all day on the radio.
American
It was raining.
billions of
Thunderstorm.
pounds of food that
I
would
probably
have
listened to you like, I don't know,
This
7,
is
8 hours yesterday.
families and children in
Well,
need.
I appreciate it.
Being a kid
I
without
fucked
your
up last night. Hey,
imagination,
Gandhi
learning,
lovers!
having fun.
What's up, Gandhi
These
lovers?
children
Thank you so
shouldn't
much
have
for
to miss out
stopping
on
in.
simply
Good
being
morning.
a
Good
kid.
morning. If you have any questions for Dr. High,
To
we're
find out how
talking
you can help
drugs.
end childhood hunger in your community, visit
talking drugs.
feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
WTHC, happy 420. This is my friend's Calligraphy, and they gave me the rights to play this song, so shut up, Facebook.
Hey, it's Bill Schmidt Jr., a.k.a. Billy Blaze, a.k.a. 420.
Happy 420, everybody!
7:10 today. Hit me.
I want to
These
give a
bowls
shout
that
out
came
to
in are about the length of my little finger.
Little homie Manuel Noriega,
Oh.
Big Just, Rossi, Jack the Apostle, the League. Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Lordy.
Buzz till little crumbs broke up in the bottom. Feel like autumn leaves falling. Only problem needs solving is seeing who I'm calling for some trees to indulge in.
You're gonna have to speak with Jeff about his situation.
Screaming loud, still smoking, having nice dreams, floating through space. So when they ask me how high, my reply, I'm half baked. Sir, smoke a lot. Doctor said I need a backiotomy. Prescribe me huckleberry and lemon cherry gelato, G. I take it back to rolling in the Optimo, blowing smoke out my nose, dropping ashes on my clothes till I doze off. I'm so fried.
just took a hit of the distillate.
Oh yeah, it's good for that.
Now, distillate, sir, is the one that tastes like goddamn fruit, and I don't know how I feel about that. Remember we were saying how I don't like my shit that tastes like weird shit?
You just gotta read
Berry
the
gelato tastes like berries.
Yeah.
I don't want berries. I want weed. Now, the liquid live resin, my man. Woo! Now, that tastes like flour.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see what's going on with the distillate is they're adding.
You're shrinking.
Huh?
I said you're shrinking.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you went.
Yeah, they're adding terpenes back in for flavor, right? Because like I told you, raw distillate.
Hi, Mr. Slow.
Tastes horrible.
Good sunshine in my pocket on a Sunday stroll. Homie got the rap, give me the sack, let the good times roll. Therapy, earth, body, and soul. World, give me beat, Bel Air Kush, give me mental control. L lit back roll, 5 hats told. The studio we roll, bring relief, weed and music, all I need to know. Healthier than Bill Pop. Mother, give me herbs to fill spot. My medication can't do a kill shot. Ministries, lay hands in stressful situations. Out of all the girls in my life, Mary Jane, a reservation. Here at 23, raise your hands of liberation. A celebration, history free from information. Stand up, provide the right education. Show love, holistic cloud, politics throughout the nation. Making a stop debating Billy Blunt, stash, flavor, taste the weed.
Weed is all I need, smoke that weed. Weed is all I need, broke down lead. Brought up in the leaf for my relief. I'm in love with THC.
Roll that shit, lick that shit, burn it. 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 Roll that shit, lick that shit. High times. Oh, Dr. High, we got to talk about something too. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, what's that?
Oh, you'll see. We'll talk about it in a minute. WTHC 1023 over here on the East Coast. I want to thank everybody that's been stopping in over here on Facebook and on YouTube. And, of course, everybody out there on Live 365 and tune in. You guys are amazing, and we love you. Dr. High, so before we get back to my section of the story, let's talk about my friend Raggy. Oh, my goodness. Last time we checked in with Raggy was 3 days ago now.
When he got his bong?
Yeah. Let's talk about Raggy and his bong. I don't know if we've seen Raggy in the last 3 days.
No?
Raggy is a mess. And when he does finally turn his camera on, his eyes are, one is over here and starts over here, and the other one's all the way over here and starts over here, and they're very slanty. And Raggy, he's a mess. He's blown out of his mind.
That's funny.
Sold my truck, got a fat stack now.
Well, it's probably like being a kid again. You know,
oh my God, yeah. He's a complete mess. Giggling like a schoolgirl. Oh,
that's funny.
He's at work. I forgot. We shouldn't be talking about how up he gets.
Well, he'll be with us before the end of the day. We'll have a chance to talk to him about it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He's got to work for 2 more hours. Well, yeah, just about by the time we get ready to get off, he gets in here. So hopefully, depending on what time you got to go. Yeah. So yeah, he's a mess. So, all right, back to me. So then I'm like, all right, well, I need a good quality indica flower, blah, blah, blah. So I learned something. So the girl was like, all right, well, we have this and it's really good, but it's a hybrid and it's really high. I was like, I want a high, THC level there, and I'm not looking for. So she's like going through them and she's like, this is 83 or whatever she said, 80.
Yeah.
83 something. And she, so anyway, she got it. And I was like, I want a half ounce. No, I want a half ounce for myself, for my head, and she's like, all right, cool. And she went and she's like, I have it in quarters, but I also have it in eighths. And she said, I'm going to tell you something. I can give it to you in the quarters, but it's coming in stronger in the eighths. Why?
Because the eights would probably be shooting more at putting a single bud in the bag to get the bag appeal.
Right. I assume the same thing. That bigger bud, that nicer bud,
which means
bud
they're
from the top.
Yeah, they're higher up on the plant. If they're 3.5 grams dry, then they were a better quality bud. You know what I mean? They were in a better spot on the plant.
So and she was kind enough to make me that offer. She said, would you like them in the quarters, which they're coming in at 79, or would you like them in the eighths, which are coming in at 83? And I was like,
how are you getting flour coming in that high?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. I could be.
Yeah. The flour can't come in at those kind of numbers unless they're moon rocks or something. Even then, they couldn't come in there. Oh,
I apologize. It is not an 8. It is a 3. So it came in at 31.
31 is really high for flour.
31. Its THCA is 31.47. THC is 1.9.
So that's actually closer to 34%.
CBDA is 0.08. CBD is 0.02. And then it goes on to a bunch of terpenes. Yeah.
But terpenes are really what you got to start looking at, right?
Well, I can't read them. They're too small, and I have a room full of darkness here, and I got sunglasses on. It's very hard to read.
I'm not saying today, but,
okay.
Terpenes are...
well, I'm pretty happy. I thought I did pretty good. It's called banana pudding pudding.
Nice.
I don't know.
Those are good numbers. When you're above 30, that's really, really something to achieve, right? In cannabis growing.
Whoa! I achieved something.
30 is a big number, right? Really big number.
That's what I thought, because usually I get like 17, 18, 23, 25. I'm like, woohoo, 25.
Yeah, you can find.
When she shouted out a 31, I was like, but does it make a difference that it's THCA and not THC?
No. All THC is THCA at one point during its cycle. So THCA is a precursor to THC. It's a carbolic acid that's attached to the molecule, the THC molecule. And that's why when you eat cannabis, when you want to use it as an edible, you have to do a process called decarboxylation. And that decarboxylation process removes that carbolic acid from the chain and allows our body to absorb it.
Right.
So THC all starts as THCA. When you harvest a fresh plant and you test it, it's THCA. That's the result with a very small amount of THC. As the plant dries and cures, THCA naturally starts to convert into THC. And then the longer you go in the process, you have more conversion. But as soon as you add heat to THCA, it converts directly to THC, and it's the exact same thing. So, and when you're looking at total THC in a product, it's the combination of THC and THCA. If you add those two numbers together, you'll get your total
combination.
THC.
But that's like the first time I've ever seen like a THC that high. I mean, a THCA that high and a regular THC so low.
That's because the plant was tested very, very fresh.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's my next topic. So then you said make sure that the date was how many days? 60 days, right? No packaging anything more than 60 days.
Yeah.
So it was June 26th. It was packaged.
So not even a month. You're talking like it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that explains the really high THCA number.
So I got to smoke it quick, or is that number going to go down as it gets older?
No. It's still going to retain that percentage. It's just going to switch from THCA to THC over time. That'll be the conversion, right? So it makes absolutely. Is that
from air? Does air do that, or?
Yeah, oxygen.
Because light, these containers now, I had the opportunity to get. I think they had the quarters in a sealed can. You know, the pop one that you were talking about.
In the nitro.
Where these are more of a.
You got that little foil tab or whatever.
And then inside I got one of them little tingies that you told me not to throw away. I hate it. It drives me nuts.
If it's a really small one like that, but it depends on how long. If you only keep your weed for 2 days, then that's really going to be irrelevant.
I'm going to tell you another thing. Here we go. So I'm sorry. Did I cut you off? No. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. So I'm very proud of myself because I've had those 2 carts this week and I've been doing very good since Friday. I'm still not done with either of them.
Good.
And I opened up an 8th and I've only done 1 bud out of the whole 8th since Friday.
Nice.
Because I didn't need it.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 buds. I might be lying a little bit, but maybe 2 buds. But I still have, plenty of it left.
Well, a transition to concentrates will probably decrease your budget. You get more bang for your buck with concentrates than you do with flour.
Wait a second. Are vapes considered a concentrate?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cartridges? Oh, okay. Because I was like, I've been doing concentrates. I've been dabbing the shit out of them for months now. And
but you got to think, right, from a marketing standpoint, those concentrates, the waxes and the batters and the shatters and the diamonds and terp sauce and the rosins, they're artisanal products, right? They're single process artisanal products that have a labor component to them, and they're generally of the best quality because they only involve one form of extraction and then they go directly into packaging, right? It's different with the vapes. They involve a couple of steps of processing, but it can be done on a very large scale at one time, or it brings down the cost of the product. So you actually get better bang for your buck with vape pens than you do with flour. And concentrates are expensive because they're like buying wines as opposed to buying vodka or beer.
Well, yeah, I went in there shopping like I was buying a fine wine this time. I went in there with that attitude instead of that, here's my money, take it, and just give me something. And I was treated differently. I wouldn't say it was better because she was a little ornery with me at points. But I was like, no, put that back. I don't want that, and I made her work for me instead of just do whatever the fuck she wants.
It's your money. and it's
right,
your medicine.
Right, and there was a lot of it overall between myself and some other. Let's say I'm a caregiver for some other patients.
Right.
If they don't take their meds, they're gonna get killed. Anyway, between all of us, I ended up spending like $700, but I get all the bonuses because I get all the points.
Yeah, you get the points.
So they give me money, and they don't know that the prices have gone down. So I still charge them $100 a gram and $30 to $50 a half a gram.
Well, really, like when you're using cannabis medically, it's really in your best interest to know what you're doing, right? Because you can't expect anybody else to understand your situation because cannabis is so varied in its response with different individuals. You kind of have to know you because the person at the dispensary,
I know my children. I mean, I know my patients pretty well as well, and I've seen them on certain types, and then I've seen them on other types. So I make that decision that they're going to be on an indica, and they both.
I'm only talking about as an individual, not caregiving.
Yeah, I mean, I would take their consideration. I take their choices into consideration, and then I make the ultimate decision on when I'm there. Price wise, financially, however it works out best for me.
The best predictor of the future when it comes to cannabis is the past, right?
So learning from your history.
You have to track your past if you're using medicinally. If it's recreational, you play with this, you play with that, you have your fun, you do whatever. Sometimes you hit the nail on the head, sometimes it misses the mark, whatever the case may be. But when it's medicinal, it's important that delivery is effective every time you consume.
This is a topic that we could get into because
but it's important because
I feel as though if you're I don't know, because I don't want to argue, and I don't
why would you be arguing? It's just discussion.
No, right. No. I'm not going to say we're going to argue. No, I don't mean it that way. I mean, I feel like everybody uses it for a reason, whether it's medically or not. You're self-medicating for something. You know what I mean? Like even you who does not have a card, you don't have a card, but and I guess maybe as we learn more, then I can understand where you're coming from. So maybe that's why I'm having a hard time, because you've done so much research and you've done so much looking into it that you have more knowledge than me. So I don't want to insult you in any way. So you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm saying I feel like everybody uses it for a reason. No? I mean.
Yeah. And the reason could be you want to have a good time on a Friday night when you go to a concert. Or the reason could be, it could be any reason. Be it medical or recreational.
I guess you're right. Recreational is different than medical. You're right. Okay.
Well, it's just not, you know what I mean? It's just not as critical that the effect is the same when it's recreational, right? Like for a medical patient who's using it for a specific reason, it's important that every time they consume that medicine, they get the benefit and the effect they need in order to control the situation they're trying to control, plain and simple. When it's recreational, I mean, it doesn't matter the same way. It's up to the consumer to be informed, but I'm just saying it's much, much more important to track your history when you're a medical user.
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying that. I agree with that 100%. As a medical patient, it's definitely beneficial 100%. I'm not arguing that fact at all. I'm arguing the fact that, and I'm not even going to argue it anymore because you're right, because you made the point. But what I was trying to say is that somebody who isn't medically and is just doing it, you don't think that there's an underlying cause for them to have gone to that choice to make that decision to choose drugs in the first place?
I mean, there could be, but
I mean, now that we have so much knowledge, okay, now I'm going and I'm doing it for medical purposes. But when I was 13 and 14, I went for drugs because there was something wrong and I didn't know what it was. And a lot of people went to drugs for one reason or another, no?
Well, like I've always looked at substances that alter state of mind from this perspective.
I mean, alcohol's the same thing. You go to the bar to drink because you want to get fucked up because you've had a rough week or
there's
whatever.
Two uses, right? If you're using substances to elevate your good experiences, to enhance your good experiences, to make a concert a little more enjoyable, to enjoy a night out with your friends on a Saturday, that's one thing. But if you're using substances to cover up pain, to like if you're self-medicating for these other reasons, like if you're drinking all the time,
depression, let's just use depression.
Yeah, exactly. Then it's a totally different issue.
Yeah,
right? It's a totally different issue.
I agree 100%. And what I'm going to say is yes, but in 1978 or 82 or 85, we didn't know that. You know what I mean? We didn't have all this medical knowledge that you have and other people have now. And as we learn more and more, but back then, I think people turned to drugs and alcohol because they had an underlying, I mean, there was time. Absolutely. I went out and I partied every fucking weekend. And that was, but was I self-medicating? What did I make wrong choices? I mean, I'm not trying to,
Just depends. It depends on your situation, right? Everybody's had their own path in life. That's why we could take a group of 5 of us here and we could all witness the same event. And then when we were interviewed about that event later on, we would give 5 different answers because we all viewed that event from our personal perspectives, from our past, from the lives that we've lived. And
you know what? This kind of ties in. I don't know if you happened to catch last night's Mrs.Hippie show last night at all, but they had a guest on and he was amazing. And a lot of people were talking about him, but it kind of ties in with that because if you think about it, something traumatic may have happened in your past, and he goes even further. He goes into ancestors and traumatic things that have happened to your ancestors that get passed on through genes to you, and then you suffer you have traumatic things from that. It was very interesting. The show was fantastic.
You got to remember, we're not. Although we live in a more modern, technologically advanced society, as human beings, we haven't really evolved a lot in the last 10,000 years. We haven't changed that much. So all those instincts we needed back then to be out hunting, to protect ourselves from other tribes that may want to come in and take our resources, to do all these things, we have instincts. Those are what the instincts are. So there could possibly be this sort of thing. There may be a mechanism inside DNA that has the ability to remember a trauma so that in a next generation, that may become an instinct to avoid this reoccurrence of that particular trauma, right?
He's got this retreat going on where they're going to go and they're going to explore this shit. It was amazing. I was like, I hate watching Mrs.Hippie's show because she drives me crazy, and that's just what I do. So, but I put it on because I love her and I support her. Right. And then I'm like, I'm just gonna put it on, and then I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. And then I find myself intrigued in the damn show every week, and I'm watching, and I'm like listening, and I'm like, damn it, why am I watching this shit again? It's so good. This week it was really cool. It was because he was saying, like, I'm saying, like, all the way back, our ancestry, he was like, it was so fucked up because he was like, even before, like the what's that shit called with the rocks, the Stonehenge. Our history, our ancestors go way back. Each of them, Ancestry.com only goes so far, but really and truthfully, our ancestry goes way further and further and further. And traumas from that can be passed on to each individual family member throughout. And then you could be triggered by something that happened in your ancestor's life that could trigger you to have your anxiety or your depression or your whatever. It was really fucked up. But then to bring weed into the whole topic, that's kind of how we just got onto this. And I don't remember what you were saying, but weed was somehow related to this.
No? Could be. I don't know. I'm just looking at, is Jeff still with us?
Yeah, I think so, Jeff.
He asked a question earlier about pain for his chronic neck pain due to shattered vertebrae and permanent spinal cord and nerve damage. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that until we got off on that other sideline. But if he's still here, I'd like to know.
He's still here.
I'd like to know what he's currently doing with cannabis, and does he find it effective?
Smoking the shit out of
it. Yeah, but then we need to look at it because you got a few types of pain going on there. You got like neurological pain, and then you probably have some kind of more along the lines of an arthritic pain, right? From where the bones have fused a little bit there around where the break occurred, from the healing process. So there is evidence that cannabis can be beneficial. You've been smoking it since he was 12. After the injury, Jeff, did you find that cannabis was effective as a medication? Because at 12 you were using it for fun, but after that injury, how have you used it to deal with what you're dealing with, the chronic pain and the issues like that? Because if you're having like an arthritic pain, then you'd be looking at inflammation, which CBD would be good for, to bring CBD into your regimen. THC for the pain. And it depends on whether it's more of an extended pain, like a pain that's always there, a chronic pain, or if it's a shooting pain, right? A pain that comes and goes, then you'd want to address those differently, right? For something that comes and has an intensity for a period of time, and then you can treat it and have it go away. Distillate, the high THC with CBD would be excellent for that situation because it addresses the immediate result. And then if it's for a longer lasting type thing, like if it's a pain that's chronically always there, like some neuropathic pains are always there, then you'd want to look at getting into capsules, edibles, things like that. If you can find 1-to-1 ratios where there are equal amounts THC, CBD, that would be ideal to start off looking at the effectiveness of this for you so that you can address both the pain and the inflammation side of those injuries. And through the process of consumption, right, with capsules or edibles, you have long-lasting delivery. A single dose can give you 5, 6, 7 hours of relief. But as we all know, you have a couple of hours time, or some people feel edibles within the first, 30 or 40 minutes. For others, it can take up to 2 hours. Some like Da.Hippie,
it might not work
to edibles, but that would be a jumping off point for experimentation. And then, okay, so constantly in pain would suggest that you'd want something that's long lasting. Yeah, go ahead, Hippie.
I have to do a commercial, sir.
We'll come right back to this, Jeff.
You think about it, and we'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Yeah. You're listening to Da.Hippie and DoktorHigh on WTHC every day at 10 a.m. Come on back.
Are you only smoking weed, Jeff?
Badger Heart Puppetry. Badger Heart Puppetry. If you need some kick-ass puppets, contact Sorge at 1-636-234-1535. He has all your puppet needs. He can fix puppets, build puppets, custom-made puppets. He has puppets off the rack. Thank you, Douglas. For cheap prices. Contact Sorge today at 1-636-234-1535 or on TikTok or Facebook at Badger Heart. All he does is smoke. He's not on pain pills at all, he said. He gave him up 3 years ago.
So he's just smoking weed.
Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is
Mrs. Hippie put this beautiful pink
exactly like
background around us. Look.
rad, it simply means that something is
Very
awesome,
nice.
cool.
Yes.
Another one is
aesthetically pleasing.
I feel like saying
I'd much rather it be like a bong and a
As in,
bowl.
I totes love going to the mall.
All sorts of cool
Another
shit.
word you might hear is jelly.
She can
Jelly
keep her
is a
pink
shorter,
one
better
for
way to
herself.
say
When I
jelly.
came in this
As
morning,
in,
it said Mrs.
Chloe, I
Hippie
am
here
like
instead
so
of my
jelly of the
name.
unicorn phone case.
What the
You
Sam
don't have
hell?
to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens
Oh,
in
that's
foster
funny.
care with your
She's taking
rat
over.
just the same.
Well, that's the way it works.
Visit adoptuskids.org.
Now she's trying to tell me I can't work in the evenings. She's got to do something, reading books all the time.
Adopt US Kids and the Ad Council.
She's reading books?
She's going to be reading books for this really handsome guy I know.
Oh, that you mean?
In a matter
Yeah.
of seconds,
And
she
she
turned
said,
herself
once
into
I
a
start
great
reading,
mathematician,
you're not allowed in
born
that room no
entrepreneur,
more. I'm like,
You know,
wait,
I
this
think,
is my,
I think
this is
there's
my
a real,
hangout.
and still
I think
is.
there's a real good argument
Recently, the
for
monsters disappeared.
Audible books.
Lurked in the
I
shadows.
think
And
it makes sense.
once
You know
Yeah,
what I
she's
mean?
very
women
excited.
put back together
And
a
today
girl's
was her
love
first day at her new
and
job, so
shattered
things are
her
really
into
starting to come
pieces
together. Yeah.
Just by
Good.
giving her a
Yeah, I got to
Now-
look at that ACX. I haven't looked at that and figured out how to do it yet.
as a
I'm just so
superhero.
distracted. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm one guy trying to figure out how to do so many different things.
Call her
Oh,
mom.
you don't have to tell me, brother.
Technology, I don't understand.
Last night, I was trying to help. I have a new friend, our friend Tim. I don't know if he's here right now, but our friend Tim is going to be DJing here from now on in the evenings. A late night show, actually.
Okay.
He so I was in the process of trying to get him hooked up, and I accidentally erased my whole password.
Oh,
So then I didn't have it anywhere. So I couldn't get on the radio. So I didn't know if we were doing a show this morning. So at midnight or 11 o'clock last night, I wrote to them. I'm like, I fucked up bad. I deleted my password. How do I get back on?
right.
And they say you have up to, because I don't pay for the higher package, they can answer me anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. I'm like, they're going to wait till the last minute. It's
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
2 days.
That would have sucked.
Yeah, I wasn't thrilled to try something.
Sorry. Had to grab a bottle of water.
That's okay. I'm going to try something anyway. My man and I were chit-chatting last night, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't have anything signed anywhere, so they can't fuck with me on this one either. Muck Sticky and I are friends, and he said I could play this.
Okay. So Jeff is trying. We got some RSO now. Good. I want to talk about this.
Worst comes to worst, they cut this couple minutes off of the show.
Yeah.
Don't say anything important.
Well, we don't talk much with the music on. So.
No, that's what I'm like. Worst comes to worst, they cut this. We don't talk much just during this anyway. Yeah, well, we're going to talk about syringes in a couple minutes because I got a couple myself over here, and I still haven't even gotten to that topic yet.
All right. Yeah, I want to just work a little bit with Jeff here before he has to go.
Well,
to the
he's got syringe too. He got an RSO syringe, so I can listen in when you're talking about that.
Yeah.
And of course, I'll cut in, I'll raise my hand, I'll, interrupt numerous times.
That's okay. Because it brings out other aspects that other people might be thinking too.
Right.
Right.
I'm a stoner, man. I don't know nothing, man. I'm fucking high. I already forgot what you told me 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to think about every angle when I'm talking about something. So, I mean, there could be avenues that I omit to explain or that lead
Right.
people.
And I figure my stupid questions. Hi,
you
Robert.
doing, Rob?
How are you, buddy? My stupid questions will lead us on to other topics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, we're never going to tell you to stop using cannabis. So you don't have to worry about that. We're going to say, hey, give up cannabis. We might tell you to do mushrooms and forget about the pain forever.
No.
We're never going to tell you to stop.
We will address it. I'd like to know. I'm really curious, Jeff. How long you been using the RSO? Are you finding it makes any difference? Yeah, I mean,
he just went to the dispensary for the first time the other day, and he picked up an RSO syringe. Total THC is 65.95, a hybrid sativa.
But has he used it yet?
50% indica.
Has he used it yet?
Hold on, this song's almost over, and we'll be back.
Yeah. This would be so great. We got to figure out a way that we can actually talk to these people, like bring them in just to have that quick conversation.
Oh, well, yeah, we gotta upgrade. I gotta upgrade. The next package allows me to have up to 8 people in here. We could have 8 people. It's just a matter of upgrading.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know much about this StreamYard, but
yeah, and then once I upgrade, then I'm able to give it to you. I can make you a co-owner, not co-owner, but an administrator.
Just a co-host, because you can have an administrator.
Right, and then I was watching that video. Yeah, and then you're able to invite your friends. But right now, we pay for the minimal package because I didn't really know what I was going to do and where I was going with this.
Well, I got some ideas of guests that would be interesting to bring in, and and people that have access to, and I got a few ideas.
All right,
for that.
Here we go. We're going back.
All right.
WTHC. Welcome back, everybody. We are live. We're hanging with DoktorHigh. I am the hippie. We are on Live 365, and tune in for everybody over here. If you're done looking at my ugly ass, and you can go over and just listen to us on the radio. If you want, and you're out there on the radio, come on in. Come on in. We're on Live 365, and tune in. It's WTHC Radio. Just look us up. I mean, no, on YouTube and Facebook, WTHC Radio. A guest smoker, right? No, you're not going to be a guest. You're crazy. You're crazy Lori. We don't name you Crazy Lori for a reason.
All right.
Anyway, so get back to what we were saying. Go ahead.
Back to Jeff. He said, okay, so I guess for the last night was the first time he's tried the RSO. So he says he did about the size of a pinhead. With RSO, you really want to start with about the size of a grain of rice. So if you think about a grain of rice, a cooked grain of rice there in front of you, squeeze out that amount. It doesn't taste very good. It'll stick to your teeth. So just take a little piece of bread, a small piece of bread, put that grain of rice size piece on the bread, just fold the bread around it, pop it in your mouth, and swallow it like a pill. You know what I mean? Or, you only need a tiny piece because you're talking about a grain of rice, right? But that way, it gets delivered right into your stomach, doesn't stick to your teeth, doesn't do anything.
That makes me feel good. At least my dispensary guy didn't lie to me. He told me the same thing: a grain of rice. That was his exact.
Yeah, that's the way you got to think about your initial dosing of RSO, and you may need to increase the dose from there, or you might find that an effective dose. But what you'll do is just monitor the response after each dose, right? So each time you try it, give yourself 2-hour window without making any judgment as to how you feel. And then 2 hours in, start to evaluate whether you're getting any response or not. Go ahead.
So you're saying you can't do nothing, don't do nothing, be in pain, suffer for 2 hours to see if this shit's...
Well, you can smoke a joint. He can smoke like normal.
Because then you don't know if it works or not, though.
You'll know. You'll know because RSO is not going to be the same head high as weed. It's going to be more of a body high like hash, right? So he's going to feel the relief in his body where smoked marijuana will give you some of that pain effect and stuff like that, but it's not going to give you that same physical sensation, right, as RSO.
Now, what about a live resin, a liquid live resin for him? Is that going to help with the body pain as well, or no? Because that's what I thought I was taking it for.
Well, if it's a live resin, you'd have to smoke it because you can't really eat it because it's going to be mostly THCA, right? Because it's a live resin. So that's an issue. Your body won't metabolize it if you eat it. And I think for Jeff's situation, he kind of needs to have those two different angles of attack, right? He needs a long-term strategy, and he needs something for immediate relief. Yeah, you could smoke RSO. I have a feeling it tastes quite nasty. I don't think you'd enjoy it. So I would suggest not smoking it. But yeah, there's no reason you couldn't. That's for sure. I was about to ask if it was a different high. Yeah, it's physical. It's going to be more physical. But you have to give it that time, right, to settle in. And then once you have the opportunity to evaluate the way your body is responding to the RSO, then your following dose, you'll either want to increase it or decrease it or maintain that level. Andrew, how are you? You know, I like that Spider-Man image. Andrew. Hey, that Spider-Man image, I think, is one that I created. It's kind of cool because like I tell people they can use my art that they find on Facebook. They can use it for whatever they want to do with it, right? They want to repost it. They want to put their own story behind it. They just want to share the art. That's cool with me. You know what I mean? What I post on Facebook is there for the public to enjoy. And that's cool. But I recognize that image, although it's a small one. I see it. The only one I don't want you using is the DoktorHigh logo. That's got to stay with me. But other than that, we're good to go.
All right. So can I use that? I want that. I want to turn that yin yang that you made into. Is that your logo?
No.
I want to turn that into the WTHC logo.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, I love that one, man.
That's a nice one. And I've cleaned that up quite a bit, too, because in its original form, it had a reflection around the outside of the orb, right? Like a spillover kind of from the brightness of it. But I was able to get that into Photoshop and remove all that. So it's just a tight black background on it.
It's beautiful.
That's going to be something I think will probably be one of my better sellers on Shopify and Etsy when I get the stores open, because I think it's going to be phenomenal. But if you want to use it for your radio logo, that's okay. But I intend to sell it, just so you know ahead of time.
Oh, no, I want something that nobody's ever going to have. So,
well, I have other really nice.
We'll talk. Yeah,
I have other real nice yin and yang.
Talk about maybe you designing something for the show, for the radio show, whatever. We'll talk.
I have others that are real nice.
Sorry?
That's good, Jeff. I have other yin and yangs that are similar but different that are pretty cool.
Weed related.
Yeah, weed related. Of course, everything I do is weed related.
All right.
I don't do anything that's not related.
How about one that's like weed one side, mushrooms the other?
I can try and create it.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
Hey, Kyle.
Medicine radio
that's good, Jeff. We really would like to know how that works for you. Stay in touch with us and let us know, and we'll work through the process and we'll find something that will benefit you. RSO is a pretty good preparation, but we can talk about mushrooms too.
Yeah, we like mushrooms.
There's a lot of interest in mushrooms now.
Oh, that's who Tim is the guy that we were talking to the other day.
I got to tell you,
he's going to be the new DJ.
Every day I'm taking my Perform mushroom tarts.
Okay, so let's get to that, because I saw somebody write that. I think it was Douglas. Douglas, are you still here, Douglas? Douglas was asking about your dispensary weed again. He wants to know more about it. Now, Douglas is a heavy smoker. He smokes a lot. So please make sure that you take that into consideration when you're explaining it to him, so that he clearly knows what he's taking care of. I don't know everything, so I'm just.
What, as far as what's available in my dispensary?
His state is illegal, and so his question was, is it legal? I mean, he can get it sent to him.
Yeah, this is legal.
Give him some.
Be shipped directly to you.
Yeah, give him some more information about
the way my dispensary is set up. There are some states that have issues with Delta-8. Our products are legal across the entire U.S., but in certain states they have expanded the federal government legislation to include maybe some Delta-8 products or whatever it is. My products will not ship into a state where they're not legal. Plain and simple. They won't ship there. But as far as the flower is concerned, it's good to go because it's THCA flower. And then once again, as we discussed earlier, the conversion of THCA, as you just saw in the flower that you've gotten, right, Hippie, was a high percentage of THCA and a very small percentage of THC. Well, the flower is exactly the same. The only difference is where you're coming in at 33%, I think we're coming in more in the 25 to 27% range of THC.
That's still good. I mean, when you go to a dispensary, 13, 15, 18, 17,
it's real quality product.
27, 25, 23. That's all, those are the ones you're getting. I mean, I hit the lotto with the 31. I don't know how I got lucky with that.
For me, it kills me, right? That I don't have the opportunity to try the THC products myself.
I'll ship it.
I take our natural products daily.
Buy it to me, buy it and send it to me, and then I'll ship it to you.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. I don't like.
We don't know nothing. Like we don't know nothing. Facebook.
Well, what I can say for a fact is that Master Road, who is with GrowFam and his own show, and he has become a virtual dispensary owner.
Mrs. Hippie and I
wants him to become. He's part of it. He received all the product. So he had the opportunity to try all the different cannabis products. And he's been using cannabis for 40 years. So he's like us, right? He's got that tolerance. He's a regular user. He attends all the different shows. He's out there. He's a part of the community. He's got Master Rochi's Garden. He's got his own lines of products, beard oils and such that he has going. And he got to try all the products. And we had a 2-hour conversation about his experience with each and every one. And he had nothing but extremely positive things to say all the way through.
Jeff, good luck
at the that I could talk. Yeah, I wish that I could provide firsthand experience of those products, but we can't get them into Canada. So not yet. Maybe one day when it's federally legal, it can cross the border, but until then.
So it will ship to every state that it is allowed to be shipped to, no matter what, right? So what Douglas is saying is North Carolina, and I'm pretty sure you said all 50 states it's legal to go to. So
everywhere, so because it's fully compliant with the 2018 Farm Bill. So any product on there,
the way the numbers come out, because it's less than like mine. My THC is 0.3 or 1.3 or whatever, or 2 point whatever, and then my THCA is the one that's way high. So is that how they're getting through it?
That's exactly how it is. Because in 2018 they put together a farm bill.
I could technically send this to Douglas because it's technically under.
You'd have to do the precise calculation to ensure that it is, because it's come from a dispensary. They're not obligated to follow the same legislation, right? The same law. So if that is 0.3% THC or less by weight, you'd be in compliance. If it's above that, then it would be technically an illegal product.
Whoa. I just heard the loophole there. Timeout. 0.3, not 3 point something.
No, so it has to be 0.3% THC by weight. So if your product weighs 100 grams, your the amount of THC that you can have in there would have to be 1/3 of a gram maximum of THC. So out of 100 grams, 1/3 of that, 1/3 of 1 gram is the legal amount of THC under the 2018 Farm Bill.
THC, but then THCA, no rule.
Nope, no rule.
All right, so I'll send you some. Nope, it's mine, sucker. Sorry. All right,
so what I understand, I think Doug would probably be pleased with the product. So
how do I get the email address I would like to order? You can go to Doc. Hold on, let me just put it right there.
Go right to my website. Yep. Is that Doug? Southern Star Doug?
No, Doug said it, but also Jeff. Jeff has also said it. So both of you go to his website. It's right here, DoktorHigh.com. Spelt just like that. I'm not special. I spelt it the right way. DOKTOR. DoktorHigh.com. And then you go to where it says dispensary, right? I think it says dispensary.
It'll say virtual dispensary.
Virtual dispensary.
One of the categories on the top. Virtual dispensary. On the very first page, you'll find all the flour. So just scroll down that first page and you'll find pre-rolls. You'll find
and
you'll find 3.5. You'll find carts. You'll find
gummies.
All the smokable products.
How about pills? Not pills, but tart. I mean,
edibles?
like suckies and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep, we got edibles. All you got to do is go to the nano emulsified edibles. It's all categorized. You can go to beverages. You'll find infused beverages.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yep.
What's the pricing like for
now
that
I'm looking at your dispensaries in the States?
Yeah,
I think it's not crazy.
Oh, now that all right. So we're us in this. Well, some states will be like, "You're nuts."
I got to tell you, when I first looked at it,
that's normal.
Yeah, when I first looked at it, I thought it was a bit on the pricey side. But now that I've been able to look at where the price points are in the U.S., I think it's quite reasonable. It's probably somewhere in the middle range, but it's the accessibility to everybody that really is the benefit. Plus, it goes directly to your home. You don't have to. You know what I mean? There's a lot of benefits.
All right. Question. All right. We're going to say his name and we're going to say it clearly. Is he on YouTube so people can find him?
Who?
Master Roche.
So Master and then Roachee.
Roche.
Roche.
All right. Look him up. You'll know that he's a quality pot smoker. And that if he's talking that this stuff is good, then I would feel safe in knowing that.
We actually did. Oh, no, sorry, that wasn't live. I was going to say
but he probably has talked about it since because he's a dealer now, isn't he?
Yeah, it's possible he has.
He has his own website over there.
Well, he's not a dealer; he's a virtual dispensary owner, and that's another thing out there, everybody, is that. Not only can you buy from my dispensary online, but you can actually own your own dispensary.
Yes, and Douglas, you can own your own.
How to do that? It's a very minimal investment, but it has great potential for somebody who's willing to put in a bit of effort in promoting, basically. You know what I mean? That's really what it's all about. How's it going, Sean? Oh, it's Mississippi.
I was just gonna say, make sure you behave yourself. Mississippi's here.
Yes.
No talking trash about her.
Mm-hmm. That won't happen with me. That's going to be my partner in crime over there, just like you are. Just a different venture.
All right.
So, Doug, I think you're liking it. From what I understand, you place an order. I think you got your product in 2 or 3 days. I think it comes really, really fast.
Yeah, because they don't want to hold on to it. They're like, get it out of my hands. Send it to that guy. Send it to that girl. Send it to that guy. I'm interested in the talk.
Oh, your music's great, Doug. I really like the song that Da.Hippie's playing. I'd like to hear more of your stuff. You should get Da.Hippie over a little bit more of that so we can need some more variation because that's a catchy song you've written. You've done well. Yes.
Yes, he needs to write more. He needs to write more. I agree.
You got to be inspired to write. It's magic.
Look at me.
Kyle, what do you
Kyle
mean?
has a question for DoktorHigh. Let me give you a little background on Kyle. Kyle was a young man in his 20s, we'll say. Exact age, but Kyle wasn't paying attention. He may have been looking at his phone, and the person driving their car was not paying attention and was speeding, and they kind of ran Kyle over. So Kyle is very injured and has a lot of his own pains and takes medication on a regular. He's a medical, but he lives at home with his parents, and I mean the landlord. The landlord lives upstairs, and they have a nice apartment downstairs. And Kyle, sometimes we might have to explain to Kyle a couple times because his memory is a little affected.
Well, I can tell you right now, my mother's probably no more than 50 feet from where I'm sitting. So there's nothing wrong with being close to home.
Mama, hi. Can you hear me?
Hi. No, she can't hear you. She's in her own place next door, but we share a wall.
Oh yeah, no, my mom's she's right next to me too in the urn right over here. She's dead. No. So anyway, Kyle is
Kyle's question is.
Yeah, we might have to explain to Kyle a couple times. Kyle, what's your question, buddy? I'll help Kyle in the background though. He hangs out with us in the Discord, so
no problem.
I can reiterate what you say to him later to make sure he gets it all.
No
but while he's typing, because it'll take him a couple seconds to type, let's talk about. Oh no, that was Douglas. Let's talk about me and the mistake I made by buying 4 grams of tinctures. 4 grams of distillate in a syringe. Yeah, in a syringe.
Let me see it.
It's in a box. What do you want to see?
So that's a 1 gram glass syringe.
Yeah, I'll open it. I haven't opened it. I was waiting for you. I'll open it now. Hold on.
I'm curious.
I got to take my body off. Oh, I fell on my head.
I got to take my body off.
Oh, that's right. Kyle asked me to ask you. He has a buddy who has an issue with twitching.
So you want an antispasmodic?
Yeah, very severe twitching at times, and wondering what
you know what I didn't realize sometimes, right, is I can actually have my website open while I'm on the show, and that can help me sometimes because I don't have to rely on my memory as much.
All right, well, I got a very nice little tin container. It's very cute, everybody. Nice metal. Definitely could keep this for future uses.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice little tube, eh?
Yeah. All right, so here it is.
Is it glass?
Yes.
Okay.
The syringe is glass, yeah.
What prompted you to buy 4 of those?
I don't know. Craziness.
I don't know.
I don't know. I thought I should be doing these. I shouldn't be.
Well, you can. You can actually, you know what you should try? You should try that as an edible.
Well, that's what I thought we were going to do, but I don't know if I should or if I shouldn't.
Oh, yeah, you can.
All right, hold on. We got to do another commercial. God damn, these commercials. They come so quick. We'll be right back. You're listening to Hippie and DoktorHigh. We're going to talk distillate in a syringe.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute? When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself.
Look
At
respectable.
AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance. Care for your own physical.
So I thought we discussed that I could dab it if I wanted to, right?
You can. Yeah, you can.
And it'll suck. It'll be really harsh, right? But it'll.
At the right temperature, if it's got terpenes in it, it could be delicious.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as long as you cold temp dab it. What you really need to do is
I'm a nectar collector kind of guy. A what?
For your dab rig. Get a quartz nail for your dab rig. Get rid of that titanium.
All right, class.
I want to get a real Diabrig if I'm going to get one, but I don't. I was trying to get off dabbing. I'm hoping that this is going to work under my tongue, but isn't it going to be the same? Like edibles don't work for me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got a chance to really try under controlled dosing. You know what I mean? Like you can control your dosing right now. Well, you can determine the actual reality of it for yourself.
Right. Well, then let's do that.
And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark.
You know what I mean? Let's see if it works this way, and then worst comes to worst, I'll fucking dab it if I have to, so it don't go wasted. Or I can vape it. Right? You told me I can vape it.
Yeah.
Somebody told me I could use my. Tim was telling me I could use my regular vape cart.
And find the fun,
Like my, the regular vape like I use.
Check out Discover the
Not if you got a cotton coil, I wouldn't.
Oh, probably have to get the ceramic.
Say bye-bye to bottled
Yeah,
water.
I wouldn't try and vape that with a cotton coil.
7 types of water, including
Just
healthy
gonna plug
alkaline.
it.
There's a
Burn your
5
coil
micron
eventually.
filter that lasts up to a year. And
This is too thick of an oil.
simply
for
attach
cotton.
to your faucet or install under your sink. Even get a mineral spa unit for your shower. Go to ownyourwater.org to get a free ebook. Plus, pay for any machine in full and get an extra filter free. Change your water and change your life. Ownyourwater.org.
Hey, hippie, look at this beautiful crystal sphere I got from Bella's Badass Crystals.
Look at this big vagina I got.
OMG, hippie.
It doubles as a worry stone.
Bella's Badass Crystals is on the top of the mountain in Dauphin, PA.
You can also check out their sales. They have mini Mondays and twice-a-day Tuesdays.
Find Bella's Badass Crystals on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
They are badass.
Yeah, they are. And I love my vagina. I own the rights to this one, too. Happy 420, everybody, especially Raggy over there in the UK. Get high to cock-a-doodle-doo.
Yeah, he sounded pretty healthy, bet he makes a pretty hearty stew. We ain't got no chickens, we got no hens. Let me tell you what we got, my friend. We got a rooster in the yard and he's singing cock-a-doodle-doo. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Eat a cock, eat a cock. Any cock will do. Now the rooster's in my house and the pussy don't know what to do. Staring up the living room, the dogs are getting in on it too. I've been watching all day, kitty stalking that prey, but it's pretty clear to me they're not trying to play because the pussy's on the cock and he's singing cock-a-doodle-doo. Cock-a-fucking-doodle-doo. Eat a cock, eat a cock. Any fucking cock will do.
Any fucking cock will do.
WTHC, we're back. DoktorHigh and I don't want any cock. You can have all the cock. No cock will do. I like chicken.
No cock will do.
I like chicken. That's the only.
See, that's like they say. What's the difference between a rooster and a prostitute?
I have no idea.
Rooster goes cock-a-doodle-doo, and a prostitute goes any cockle-doo.
Any cockle-doo.
So,
all right. So we had Kyle ask a question about
nice to meet you too, Kyle. All right. So for twitching, we're going to think about that as a response similar to like Parkinson's or something like that, a tremor thing, shaking, something along that nature. Cannabis has been shown to be very effective for tremors. Twitching would be along those lines because it's that antispasmodic. And that's basically spasm is the twitch, right? Yeah, Tourette's is very useful for Tourette's too. And it's actually, but for this situation, it's shown to be really effective, right? For epilepsy, which is another convulsive type spasmodic condition. Very, very effective there. I mean, it's changing the lives of children, CBD. And so I would equate it along the lines of those two type conditions when we're talking about twitching specifically. And there's 4 or 5 strains you could try, but you want to really look for high CBD in particular. High CBD is the key to getting that motor control back and to working within the CB1 and CB2 receptors to help gain some things over there. So you'd want to look for stuff like ACDC, Canatonic,
White Widow,
Charlotte's Web, Girl Scout cookies, White Widow. You want to find a higher CBD strain, and that would be the first thing I would look at for that situation.
So Kyle, the first thing you want to tell him is he definitely wants to get something with more CBD and lower THC. The THC is still going to affect him. He's still going to get high, but the CBD is what's going to help slow his tics down or his shakes or his tremors or whatever we're calling them.
Unless you got a medical card and go to a dispensary and get CBD in capsule form or
and then just take CBD on a regular basis.
Yeah.
How many milligrams is a suggested milligrams, and how many times a day, Dr. High?
For CBD?
Yeah, like if I were to take CBD just as an overall health reasons, just an overall, I'm going to take it like a vitamin every day. Is that suggested? Is that recommended? Is that?
Yeah. Yeah, you can actually do that because it would be like a form of preventative medicine.
Like
right?
I take
even if
50,
you don't have an issue.
Like I have 50. I take 50. I'm vitamin D deficient. It could be because I'm sitting in a dark room constantly playing with dark lights and stuff. But I'm vitamin D deficient, so I take 50,000 milligrams once a week. And
it's probably 50,000 nanograms you're taking as opposed to milligrams. It's probably got the U in front of it.
Capsule.
So, yeah,
maybe I don't know. But I take that once a week. Now, CBD, is that something I should do like once a week, or should I take it should I take like a shit fucking handful of pills once a week, or should I take once a day?
It's got a lot to do with the intended use, like the intended purpose for the taking it. Like if you're somebody who's got epilepsy or something like that, you might need to be taking 800 to 1,000 milligrams a day. Like up to maybe a gram a day to control a situation like that. But if you're taking it for just general wellness, you know what I mean? As then I think you could probably get along with something more along the lines of 25 to 50 milligrams a day. Right?
Every day you wake up and you're going to feel that it'll give you that overwhelm what's the word I'm looking for?
The funny thing is with CBD, you'll never know what's happening. I can give you a real life example. My dad's wife has been a runner all her life. Loves to run. She hurt her ankle running one day. And I think she actually fractured it. But she wasn't finding that she was getting better. So my father asked me one day, is there something you can do for Alice? Can you make Alice something, a CBD thing? She doesn't really want to get high, but she wants to try the CBD. So I made her a preparation and I sent it over and I was like, well, let me know what you think, right? How it works for you. So some time had gone past and I hadn't heard anything. So I was talking to my dad one day and Alice happened to be there. And I said, can you ask Alice how that's working for her? Is she experiencing any benefit from it? And she said, no, I don't think so. I'm not really feeling any difference. I'm not noticing anything different. And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. Okay. And then a couple weeks later, my dad calls me up and he says, hey, David, can you make another bottle of the CBD oil for Alice? And I'm like, well, I thought it really wasn't working for her. And he says, well, she didn't realize that it actually was working for her until she stopped taking it. You know what I mean? And that's CBD.
All of a sudden, the aches and the pain start coming back, and you're like,
yeah, she didn't even realize that it was working for her until she stopped using it, and then she was like, "Oh, I guess this really was working." So that's CBD. Yeah.
All right. So as a CBD person who wasn't a big fan, but now you're talking me into it. Okay. So as a large man, the guy next to me over here, he's a fat ass. So should he take more because of his size, or is that something that matters when you're saying 50 to 100 milligrams a day, or
I think that taller to be the different measure there, but the idea is you're just trying to stimulate the endocannabinoid system, right? You're trying to keep the endocannabinoid system working. You're artificially stimulating what your body creates naturally by stimulating, by adding CBD or THC to your system, right? To make the endocannabinoid system do its thing. Right. So I would say as a maintenance dose, I don't think so. I think that you can probably be quite comfortable at that level. If you're dealing with a specific medical condition, then you have to adjust to find the point where it actually does something. But if you're just taking it as a wellness supplement, I don't think that body size is going to be the first criteria.
So now, like if I were to go out and buy capsules or whatever at the local capsule store that sells CBD, which would be like any vape store or places like that, right? That's where you would get your CBD. I don't have to get CBD. I mean, I can get it from the dispensary. Do I pay this dispensary prices? Would you prefer to get it from a dispensary?
No, CBD is not regulated in the States.
Right.
If I was in the States, I would be looking for a source in California that makes CBD isolate. It's a powder, like I showed you the other day when I held it up to the camera. You can probably buy it for as cheap as $17 a gram, $15 a gram, $20 a gram. It's very inexpensive. That's 1,000 milligrams.
How many grams do I need?
Well, let's say we're talking about 50 milligrams a day as a dose.
Right.
Then 1 gram gets you 20 days.
All right. So 1 gram, 20, 2 grams, 40, 3 grams, 60. All right. So probably like 3 grams for 2 months per 2 months of CBD.
Yep. And it's really, really simple because you go on to Amazon, you order some 30 milliliter bottles with droppers. They'll cost you maybe 65 cents a bottle. So you buy a dozen of them. They'll cost you $6, $7. Amazon Prime to your house. You go down to your local health food store, pharmacy. You buy something called MCT oil, medium chain triglycerides.
Right.
And you go to your local head shop and you buy a triple point scale, a scale that's designed for weighing powders. Because the scale that'll weigh cannabis.
I may or may not have had one in my past. I may or may not have had one in my past. I don't remember.
So you want to have that, and then simply you will put oil into the bottle until it's full, and then you can take your dose, your 1,000 milligrams of powdered CBD isolate, and pour it directly into the bottle with the MCT oil. Put the lid on, shake it, let it sit for an hour, and you have infused oil. You have 1,000 milligrams and 30 milliliters for under $20.
Wow!
You're not going to touch that in the dispensary, I can assure you. Not even close.
Yeah, no, or on the
That's
street,
a $60 bottle.
or at your local smoke shop. So I would highly recommend buy your CBD online from California.
Anybody here who's in the States that is interested in CBD, don't buy it from your dispensary. Just let us know. I'll actually go and look, and I'll find the sources for you guys that you can actually use to buy your isolate, and then I can teach you how to make your product right from there. I can teach you how to turn it into a vape juice that you can smoke, you can take orally. I could even teach you how to make a suppository out of it if you want.
Don't go there, Dr. High.
Well, you know, the truth of the matter.
Well, we taught Aggie about bongs the other day, and then I was teasing him. I said, we're going to teach you about suppositories next time. So then, bam, there it is. Reggae,
It's the most
paying attention.
You know, people might think it's kind of crazy, but it's the best method of delivery it is. It's most effective.
All right.
Hey, Kyle, the best one for sleep. Hold on. I just want to answer the question before Kyle goes.
Yeah, I was
your
just
best
want
for
to say
sleep.
hi to boxes. Go
You
ahead.
want to look at two components inside the strain, and that's myrcene and CBN. So you're looking for a high percentage of myrcene, a higher percentage of CBN. That'll be an indica strain, and that would be a good place to start when you're looking for a sleepy time cannabis.
Yeah, and I'll help you with that later, buddy, when you come by after work. Have a good day at work, my man. He's got to get to work. Little Boxes is here. Hi, Little Boxes. How are you? Hi, Lori. Yeah, we.
Well,
make
Little Boxes, see, she makes hers a little different. Yeah, there's different ways you can do it, but it all comes down to the same thing. But she says that we would love some isolates. Is she not working from isolates already?
I don't know.
You know,
You're
like
not
that's the way to go. Especially if you're cooking, right? Because you want a precise dose.
You remember Little Boxes. She's in a non-legal state. Medically, it is legal. She makes food, and
But CBD is legal everywhere.
Right.
And we're only talking about CBD, and by nature, CBD isolate is 99.9% CBD. So there's no risk of falling afoul of regulation. And I mean, some of the places that are producing CBD are massive, are putting 20,000 pounds of hemp through a day. You know what I mean? Like producing this on a huge scale. Now there's Chinese hemp also, which you don't want. You can buy Chinese CBD, but you don't want that. Because the one thing about cannabis plants and hemp in particular is it has a way of scrubbing the environment and absorbing whatever's around it in the air. So you don't want plants that are grown in all that pollution that they have over there and then extracted to CBD. You're better off to work with what comes out of California. There's tons of good CBD coming out of California.
Oh, that's
how are you? How's it going today?
All right, so let's get back to Hippie here for a second.
Okay.
No, this is not the Hippie show. I mean, this is the Hippie and Dr. High show, but I did go to the store. So now I bought these. Now, what is it? The same thing, a size of rice on a piece of bread and put it in my mouth and eat it?
Yeah, that's what I would try. And it should be a little bit, it's going to be more potent than the RSO, but that's where I would start. Yep, that's where I would start. Grain of rice.
All right.
Take your 2 hours, see where you're at. If you don't feel anything, do a grain and a half. Wait 2 hours, see where you're at. You don't feel anything, do 2 grains. Go up by half a grain each time and see where it leads. Yep.
Dude, I did that with the RSO.
Yep.
Right. And it didn't work at all. Right. So, I mean, this is totally different. This is a totally different option. Right. I'm not going to, because like I told you the last time when I did a grain of rice, nothing. The next day, I did the whole back of a gummy bear lightly, you know, and then I ate it and there was nothing. Then I took the rest of that syringe, filled the whole gummy bear up, ate it, nothing.
Then you may not feel it.
Now, this is different, though. This is a distillate, right? I mean, this is not an RSO.
It's distillate, but the main difference is going to be an extra, what's the percentage on that one? Close to 80. So you're going to be 15% THC higher than you would be with RSO. You know what I mean? So
that's the only difference. I mean, it's the same products, basically.
Well, no, RSO is full plant medicine, so it has everything there. Yeah, see Little Boxes is explaining it too. I'm not 100% familiar with that enzyme, but I know that it is. Oh, now that's interesting. What she's saying.
See, this is the stuff I was telling you about. Like
Well, you know what? That means
she's the one. Yeah.
That means Canaglobe products might work for you because they're water soluble.
Ooh. Who might work for me?
The Canaglobe products that I have in the dispensary, the edibles.
Really?
If what she's saying is correct, now I didn't, but it's quite possible because this is not the first time I've seen that what little boxes is saying. It didn't occur to me, right? I wasn't thinking about it. I was thinking about the enzyme being what's blocking you from being able to take the edibles, but I didn't realize and I didn't recall that a water soluble THC preparation would bypass that blockage and allow you to have the experience.
That's what I've been trying to tell you, Dr. I don't know if I told you, but I think I mentioned that she makes like this powder that is water soluble that I'm supposed to take, and then I'm supposed to make it and mix it into another powder of some sort, and then I can cook with it.
So Little Boxes is using nanoemulsion technology. So she's using ultrasound or frequency to turn that into a water soluble. Am I correct, Little Boxes, about what you're doing? Using something from like Industrial Somatechnics or that type of equipment to do that? She's got some money invested, that's for sure. She's doing that because that's a bit of a process, but it's the most effective, right? Because your body uptakes the water solubles so much better. Like I would imagine that would be beneficial in every use case over oils or fats for infusion. Okay, so she says, I work from whole plant, multiple forms of concentrates. Most of my foods are not CBD. Yeah, which makes sense because you're trying to give people an experience. Yeah, you're doing the home version of that. Well, that's interesting because I didn't know that there was a home version of that. That's pretty interesting. I'd really love to know more because that's very interesting for me to understand how that process works. CBG, I make that sold everywhere. We're also working on changing that to isolates. So Little Boxes, you're doing all your own extraction and then converting into these products. So you're isolating them yourself or you're buying them as isolated products and utilizing them in final end retail product. Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
Little Boxes, are you available for a show tomorrow? Would you like to be our guest tomorrow? You and Dabby.
Is that Dabby from Disjointed?
No, she has a puppet called Dabby.
Oh, have you ever seen the show Disjointed on Netflix?
No.
Oh, you don't watch a lot of TV. It's a show all about a dispensary.
Oh,
it's
really?
got Kathy Bates in it. It's got a couple of people that you would recognize as real names, and it's 2 or 3 years of series of seasons. It's funny as hell. And there's a character on there called Dabby.
I'll have to check it out. It would be from like for you. It would be what time we start here? 10. So 9 o'clock tomorrow morning till 10, 11, somewhere around there. 11 o'clock, 9 to 11.
Yeah, I really want to understand that home version of nanoemulsification because that's pretty cool that you can do that at home.
Or any day this week, 9 to 11. Doesn't have to be tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow would be ideal because we're talking about it now. But Thursday would be easier. But let me see if I can move a couple clients for tomorrow. No, Thursday's fine. If we don't want to rush you when you're ready. Thursday's fine. We can announce it and let people know.
Man, I'm glad I don't play with psychedelics anymore. I'd be very scared at the moment.
Yeah. She has a day job as well, so she's very busy. No, Thursday's fine. Thursday's fine. Can I?
Yeah, whatever works. I'm just super curious to understand the techniques involved.
We're going to discuss it with little boxes on Thursday.
Yeah. You guys are all going to make me wish I was in America and I could actually come out and hang out.
Well, we're gonna come to Canada.
All right. Oh, that'd be interesting.
Thursday morning, you'll be available around 9 a.m. I'll send you an invite, and you'll get an invite. You and DoktorHigh will get an invite that morning, 9 a.m. your time, 10 a.m. Eastern. Good morning, Steve. How are you? Good night, Steve. Steve's getting ready for bed. Good night, Steve.
And little boxes can come and be a part of our little boxes.
Yes, she can come and be in one of our little boxes. Yes, that'll be great. And I wanted to talk to her about it anyway, because her and I had discussed this in the past about this powder that she makes, and I wanted to get some because I really feel as though, as I get older, I need to start making that change over to edibles, because I don't want my lungs to be, I don't want to be huffing and puffing and climbing up hills.
It's super effective, right? Super effective method of delivery. And don't forget.
And I like the idea of 5 or 6 hours instead of this every hour kind of shit.
No, and the thing is that vaping, although we don't have a really long history of it like we do of smoking as far as the damage it can prevent or cause to your lungs, it's definitely better than smoking, for sure. Vaporizing, you're not putting your lungs in the same jeopardy when you vape as you could be when you smoke.
What's up, DJ Nephew Nick? Yeah, I'm sorry. DJ Nephew Nick's in the house. Hi, DJ Nephew Nick. How are you? And she said, Dabby will love talking to us. I can't wait. And she finally has a full indica to make, so she can finally, because that's why I've been waiting. Because I don't want, she had
indica.
Yeah, she had a lot of sativa
left. Fire. Nice.
I'm going to be making some indica in the future, but I don't have any right now. So now
I have a feeling I'm really going to enjoy that conversation with her on Thursday, because I love talking to fellow extractors, people who love to take the plant and manipulate it and turn it into final use products. And, like there are different paths to arrive at the same destination. And it's always interesting to learn a little about somebody else's path.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so I'm going to do my syringe today, and I'll let you know tomorrow how that works out.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'm concerned, but what's worst comes to worst. If I don't want to waste it, so I mean, worst comes to worst, I can dab it, right?
Yeah,
I can nectar collect a couple little hits off of it.
Absolutely. And the beautiful thing is with the glass syringe, you can actually squeeze out a little bit of the distillate so it hangs out like a little worm. And you can heat up your nectar collector, and then you could actually just pop it right in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of having to put it into a glass container and then chase it around.
That's what I was going to do. Yeah. Yep. I don't play with that silicone shit. That shit drives me nuts. So little boxes were set Thursday morning, everybody. Make sure you're here Thursday morning. We're gonna hang out with
little boxes. Enjoy.
Much love, little boxes. We love you. We'll see you soon. Mwah. I missed my mouth. Mwah. All right. I got to do a commercial again, so we'll be right back after this commercial break. You're hanging with DoktorHigh and Hippie here.
Okay, men. This is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're going to go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you.
Mark it on your calendar.
So what are you going to do?
Mark it on your calendar.
You got to go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You got to dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the front. No, you won't, because that's what caregivers do.
Oh, what a beautiful sunrise in his yard today.
Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste.
Oh my goodness, I just realized it's Mini Monday over at Bella's Badass Crystals today.
Learning and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
This Hippie just left. She probably took my
Feeding
credit
America
card.
and the Ad Council.
Badger Heart Puppetry. Badger Heart Puppetry. Badger Heart Puppetry. If you need some kick-ass puppets, contact Thorge at 1-636-234-1535. He has all your puppet needs. He can fix puppets, build puppets, custom-made puppets. He has puppets off the rack for cheap prices. Contact Thorge today at 1-636-234-1535 or on TikTok or Facebook at Badger Heart Puppetry. He also makes LARPing items too.
There goes my puppet.
Check out Vern on TikTok at You Have Me Hooked. She's amazing. And everything she makes on TikTok, she sells at You Have Me Hooked 23 at Etsy. So you can watch her make it, and she'll make personalized stuff. So if you have an idea, like I would like this thing made, she can make it. She can make anything. She's an incredible artist. Check her out at You Have Me Hooked on TikTok and You Have Me Hooked 23 on Etsy.
WTHC, we're back. You're hanging with the Hippie and DoktorHigh. We're having a great day talking drugs all day. Loving it. What else is going on? What's up with you? You got anything? Do we have news today? Did you look at news?
No, I did put out a blog post today, though. For the first time. I missed the last week because I've been through
you said you were going to work on them, right? Yeah.
So I got a new one out today. It's about the most effective forms of medical marijuana, as quoted by the experts. So that's up there. I got some cool art up there. It's an interesting article.
That's all on DoktorHigh.com, right?
That's all on DoktorHigh.com, right? And that's all about the most effective method of delivery for specific things, right? So if you need immediate relief, then you'll want to go to smoking and vaporizing. If you need long-term relief. So it's interesting. Some of the things we touched on today are actually discussed in the article, right? We talk about tinctures and smoking and vaping and edibles, pills and capsules. So yeah, it's interesting if you're looking to find a little more information on the most effective way to utilize this medication for your specific needs. You'll find some information there. Yeah, go ahead.
Question. So I've had some bad teeth in my past. Is there something that you can put on in your gums? Like say you have, like a bad tooth and you can't afford to go to the dentist right now, but you need a root canal and you get that pain, and everybody's had it that 1 or 2 times where you're like, the fucking dentist is closed. My tooth is killing me. I need something to help with the relief that pain. Is there a type of gel or something yet out that we can put into our mouths?
Not that I'm familiar with. I've not seen anything like an Ambisol or a product that's designed for.
I think we need to come up with that.
Pain, but I would think that if you're able to find a preparation of RSO that had been made from a CBD-rich strain, so you had real high CBD, like in the 65% CBD range, and then the rest, I think if you were to take some of that and rub it along the gum in the area of agitation, a lot of
you got
comes
that
from inflammation, right? Inflammation of the nerve, inflammation of the gum line.
Right, so we have that rub for our shoulders and shit like that. I mean, so why wouldn't we have something for our mouth, our gums?
Well, I mean, to me,
it's we have edibles, we have everything, but we can't figure out how to put it in our lip.
That's it. See, I don't. When I'm looking at from the cause of the irritation, which is most likely inflammation, right? When you're talking about a tooth pain, and what about cannabis deals directly with inflammation? Is CBD.
CBD.
Right. So it's just a logical progression from starting at the problem and then looking at what aspects of cannabis can deal with that problem and then trying to come up with the solution. So that's what I would try. If I was going to try something of that nature, that would be what I would look to do. High CBD RSO preparation.
Melt down some gummies. We melt down some gummies and then we pour it into our hole in our tooth.
The problem is when you melt sugar down, it's going to burn your mouth when you put it in there.
We do not recommend listening to Da.Hippie ever.
Where does Lori go live?
Lori goes live on TikTok. She's crazy, Lori. Yeah, I usually go in and play the rest of my music either with her or Pothead. But Pothead's been missing the last couple of days. We got to check on her, make sure she's okay. Last time
hasn't showed up. Robert hasn't showed up with us yet today.
Yeah, he's just getting off. He's got 5 more minutes and he gets off.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say that bong's truly got him missing in action.
He usually has to walk home. It takes him about 5 minutes to get home from work, 10 minutes maybe if he has to stop. And then he usually joins us about a quarter after, somewhere around there. But you're usually still here hanging. He gets the last 10 minutes to see you before you split, and then we go hang out. And we talk about the show. So
Lori was talking earlier about her vape not working. What was ultimately the problem with that? Was it just a dead battery?
It's always a connection. It's always a connection issue.
Is it a cannabis vape?
Yeah, her cart.
So what you can look at is generally when you look at the threads on a cart, if you look at the bottom, there's actually a hole that goes all the way through, right? That allows the air to transfer up through the coil. Now, oil can get down inside that hole and get into your connection where your threads turn into your battery. Simply get some isopropyl alcohol or a bong cleaner and a Q-tip. Clean that area. You know what I mean? Every time you change cartridges or whatever, clean that with the Q-tip. Get it nice and clean so that you got a good clean spot to seat that cart back into the battery and have a good connection.
Yeah, and sometimes that little thing gets pushed in too far or the little thing gets pushed up too high in your cart, and you might have to just adjust a little metal circle thing in the bottom of the battery down there. Sometimes it goes down too far and then it doesn't make that connection anymore, and you just need to lift it up the hair.
Those, depending on the battery that you're using, like the ones that you have there are completely different than the disposables like I tend to buy my product in. They're rechargeable, but the problem is if you charge them too long, you actually destroy the battery. So when I have to recharge my pen, I put it on for just 1 hour. I charge it for 1 hour, and then if I get 2 days use out of it, I don't care. I'll charge it for another hour. It's better than thinking, okay, let me do the full charge of 2 hours.
That's why I always keep 2.
Yeah, you don't want to damage the device. So
I keep 1 always charged and ready, and then if I have to, I throw the other one on.
Says that's my problem. What was the problem with the stuff pushing back up inside, or with the oil getting in the connection? Nick says he was a pothead this past weekend.
Nick's not much of a pothead, but every once in a while he'll get crazy with himself.
No connection yet. Sometimes you just got to clean that thing up and it'll work a lot better.
Yeah, even cleaning it might help with the connection. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Especially some carts are not the same as like dispensary carts. Some carts leak more than others. Yep. Definitely, guys, this is a word of advice just from past reasons. Make sure you keep your carts in a cool location. You can't, like when you run into the store, don't leave it in the center console of your car at 125 degrees, because that shit's gonna get thin, and then it's gonna find places to leak out of.
Extremes are no good either way for those devices. Extreme hot or extreme cold. no one's either good. You should never really leave them in your car.
Oh, you saw Pothead this weekend. He's a pothead. He's a pothead.
Oh,
he's seen Pothead this weekend. Oh, all right. I'm glad she's okay. Thank you.
Oh, I was looking forward to his experience as a pothead over the weekend.
Well, he's an experience in his own. Don't worry about it. You can check him out every day over there on Clapper, hanging out doing DJ Nephew Nick radio show over there. And you'll have an experience.
Mr. Snow?
That's Raggy. He's on his way home now, so he's walking home now.
He's got multiple personalities. That's what you're telling me?
Oh yeah, he's got a bunch of different names. He's Mr. Slow. He's Raggy. He's Sky Daddy. He's Robert. He's Mr. Big.
Sky Daddy.
Oh yeah, he's back when nobody knew about the Discord room. All of a sudden, I'd be on TikTok and people would hear voices, and Sky Daddy would be the one talking, and they'd be like, and I'd just look around, and I'd be like, "You heard that? Where did you hear that?"
I tried to figure out that Discord the other day because I saw I had those friend requests for Discord. But for the life of me, man, I can't figure out how to find them, where to accept them, what to do. I am Discord illiterate. I cannot understand. I know how to get on there to go to Midjourney, and that's all I can figure out. I can't figure out beyond that.
I mean, you just have to look up the name of ours, I think. It is WTHC Friends and Family.
Hold on. Let's do it while we're live here and see if I can get beyond this barrier.
I don't want all these weirdos coming.
Weirdos?
I'm just kidding. Next thing you know, we'll have DJ Nephew Nick back there.
Okay, there's just activities, got it. No, whatever. I'll do this later. Okay, remind you very soon. Okay, you do that.
See, now I love this stuff because I'm getting that high that I need with that.
Why don't you tell me to claim the user?
What?
It's telling me to choose the username I want, but I thought I already had a username.
Well, you might have multiple, and it might want you to choose one of the two that you want to use.
I don't know. Who am I looking for? WTHC?
Well, Lori said accept her friend request.
Well, I can't even figure out where the hell it is.
Well, you probably need to go to like Lori on Messenger or Lori on.
I see it in my emails, but I don't see it on my Discord. But maybe I'm not Dr.High on this Discord. Maybe I'm somebody different. Maybe I'm a different name.
Maybe
because I think I started this Discord because I was following some cryptocurrency stuff, NFTs and stuff like that, and I was interested in buying a meta mansion, a virtual mansion in the metaverse, and I think that's how I got on that Discord over there. And then when I joined Midjourney to create the art,
you shouldn't have put your phone down because Lori's working with you right now.
Huh?
Get it picked up. Curly Kel's looking for you. I mean, Lori's looking for you. You're Dr. High on Discord. That's how she found you.
I am, but I think I'm only Dr. High when I'm on the computer. I think the one on my phone isn't. I'll check it out as soon as I go back to Midjourney to create some art the next day or two. I'll figure that out.
Well, but I think the issue is I think the invites only last for a certain amount of time. Then you have to get a new invite. So every time you probably get an invite and then it disappears.
I got to figure it out. I'm not very savvy for that sort of thing. Spotify.
I don't know what he's saying. Spotify. Why do we say Spotify?
The Footman. What's that got to do with anything?
Nick has a foot fetish. He's weird.
Oh. Thank you for the plug. Oh, is that the plug? The foot fetish thing?
No, DJ Nephew Nick over on Clapper. I guess that was his plug.
I don't know. There's all kind of weird stuff out there, right?
Have you got a Spotify?
My wife was telling me about a girl.
We're going to be creating one here, Steven.
Oh, what, Spotify? Yeah, like podcasting?
Yeah, we're going to cut this and turn this into a Spotify every day, hopefully.
Well, when and if I end up moving, I'm actually going to make myself a little studio room in there. Would be good.
Where are you moving to? Your mom's house next door? You guys all live on a fucking.
No,
trying to get away from your family.
Thinking about going back to my kids in Quebec.
Well, that's right. You were saying that Montreal area.
Yep. That's what's probably going to happen in the next 3 months or so. It's kind of the plan. But I want to. I have all this beautiful stuff that I got when I worked in the wholesale. The sickest bongs and pipes and just incredible stuff. And it's been in boxes for years. I don't see it. You know what I mean? And it's just beautiful stuff. So I kind of need a place to display it. And what better place would there be except in a little studio, right?
Absolutely.
It would be perfect.
Instead of looking at all your beautiful plants behind you, we could be looking at all your beautiful bongs behind you.
That's right. And and my wife's in the background saying, or your beautiful wife, but you can't see her because she's way at the back of the garden right now.
Yeah. Trimming bushes back there.
Right. That's right.
I heard her laugh.
Mr. Slow says 48 hours. Is that how long it's been since he's put the bong down?
Yeah, probably.
Is he still enjoying it?
Too much. We might have caused an issue here.
An issue? No issues.
He's giggling like a schoolgirl over there, getting no work done. Playing video games all day.
Lori says, hi, beautiful wife. Although they can't see you working in the garden.
Hi, beautiful wife. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. So what's your plan? You got to make lunch for the beautiful wife today?
Yeah, that's the usual routine. So
yeah, I don't know what you want to do.
Shortly.
We got 5 or 10 minutes.
Looks like StreamYard's telling us time to go. I'm getting stuck.
It just started freezing up now for the first time all day.
Yeah, crazy, eh? Well, we got a couple more minutes. Anybody got any questions today? Anything they want to know that we haven't addressed or they're curious about?
Yes, I do. So when I take this thing and I put it on the bread and I eat it, I'm going to feel the head high, not the body high.
You should feel more physical.
Even though it's a distillate.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, because it's going to go into your body differently, right? When you smoke it, it absorbs through your lungs and then straight in your circulatory system up to your brain. But when you take it like this, it's going to convert to your liver and it's going to enter your body differently. So
now little boxes and I and you were just talking about that whole thing, and then her and I had discussed that in the past. Hey, Tim, there's Tim now. Hi, Timmy. So how much should I waste? I mean, should I even bother? Should I just dab it? I mean, should I just turn it into a nectar collecting thing and be safe with it? I mean, if I'm going to eat it, it's not going to work.
Ultimately, it's up to you whether you want to experiment or not.
Well, that's why I bought 4, I guess, because I figured I would eat one, and if it didn't work, then we would dab the rest.
Yeah.
Or cart them. You said you had the ability to teach
me.
Like
I said, because it's a syringe, Mrs. Hippie can help you with that rectally also, where you'll get a better absorption, and it'll hit you faster and harder.
She just shoots it in my ass?
Yeah. Yep, just like that.
A whole syringe.
Well, a whole syringe, you might get really high.
Well, I'm not afraid of being high, but if she puts it in my butt, it'll work.
Well, we don't know that for a fact, but it's always fun.
It still goes to my liver, even in my ass.
Rectally is the best absorption you have.
Right, but it goes to my liver?
No, go direct into your bloodstream.
Right. So it bypasses that whole liver thing, right?
Yep.
I'm doing it tonight.
And the stomach, too,
Mrs.
because the stomach
Hippie!
is fairly bad. Mrs. Hippie!
Get the Vaseline!
You don't need Vaseline.
Yeah, it is a tiny
that syringe is pretty small.
That tiny little syringe.
Just don't lose it in there. You'll end up like
that's my biggest concern is it might get lost in that big ass.
At the hospital.
Big ass. Oh, Mrs. Hippie, what'd you do? Oh my God, it went too far.
Yeah.
Well, I just keistered. Just keistered a syringe. Fuck. Now I got a syringe in my ass. Will I poop that out later, I guess?
Most likely.
It won't stay there, right? Get hooked on something. My luck, it'll get hooked on something, and we'll get hooked on one of my diverticulitises or something, and I'll be
well,
like,
you know, if it does, it's probably a magical syringe because it would be going the opposite direction to all the traffic on that road.
Right, it's going the wrong way.
It'd be going the wrong way.
Like the driving in London, you know, like Raggy over there. People just driving everywhere. Which way? My fucking syringe is going the wrong way in the tunnel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're probably safe there, I would imagine.
Don't fart when she does it. No, she won't even go near my ass. She's been there already. She had to deal with that when I got fucked up in my accident. She's like, no, I ain't playing in that area ever again.
That's it. That's funny.
You are not allowed. I'm dying before you. You are not taking. You are not taking. How the hell did that get up there?
Oh, I'm telling you.
The hippie's foot is putting
if
stuff
we
up
do
on
that
the
live, if we do that live one day, I bet your viewership's going up.
Dude, I didn't even think about that.
Oh.
Tomorrow, live right here on Facebook, Hippie's ass is going up on the screen, and Mrs. Hippie is we're gonna shoot some distillate right up my butt. How long until it'll take effect?
Probably pretty quick there. I'm going to say within the first 15 or 20 minutes.
And then I'm going to be like this?
Could be.
And you're going to be in charge of the show and commercials.
Well, I'm just going to be showing replays of the insertion.
We're just going to talk about it again.
We'll do it in slow motion, multi-angle. And it'll all be a thing. And that's really what it's about, huh?
I don't know. I'm getting too into this. Can I just put it on a tampon, shoot it on a tampon, and stick that in my ass?
I imagine you could.
Like,
I'm not sure how you feel after.
Well, I mean, I've taken some pretty big shits. I don't think a tampon's bigger than some of my dumps.
No, but the syringe is definitely going to be a comfortable fit. Imagine
it's ice cold though, man. It's ice cold.
You just gotta hold it in your hand for 5 minutes first. It'll warm up.
I gotta turn the air conditioning off. I think that's the issue. It's freaking freezing.
That's what you might find with that distillate. You might want to put it just in this part of your hand here. And I don't know where the hell my hand is, but it's somewhere.
Put it in front of you.
You just hold it in your hand for a couple of minutes before you're ready to push any out. It warms it up enough that it'll actually come out of the syringe fairly easily. Because if it's cool and you are got the air conditioning on in there, it might be a little bit stiff to actually push the distillate out at room temperature. You might want to warm it up a little bit. Like in the song "Fuck It."
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't even know what he's stoned. He's probably at the bar. He's a bar guy. He's probably at the bar already.
Yeah.
Nick, are you at the bar?
Is he in the States or in England or?
He's in Texas. He's one of the Texas guys.
Texas.
At the bar at 7 a.m. Too early. It's never too early to go to the bar. I remember leaving at bars at this time of the day. Anyway.
Nice.
All right. I am not going to stick it in my ass.
Maybe a commercial.
Maybe everybody will hear me. I'm not going to stick it in my ass. So relax, everybody.
Listen, you can't tell the people that. If they think you might stick it in your ass, they're going to come back to see.
Right. I'm sticking it in my ass tomorrow.
Listen, now, nobody's going to come back because they know that the ass is off the table.
I'm going to stick it in my ass tonight, and you can come back tomorrow to hear how it goes.
You always got to leave them anticipating the next move, you know?
Right. I didn't think about that. I'm bad.
You know? And we could test, different depths. You can use a carrot to put some on. There's so many different things we could do with this.
Yes, that's what I was going to ask. What if I just leave it at the edge there? Is that not far enough in? Does it have to go a certain depth before it's going to absorb? I mean, I don't want it to absorb on my anal hole.
Well, it's a little sticky for that, eh?
Right. I mean, the next wipe is going to be horrible.
Yeah, well, you're going to end up having some
like toilet paper stuck to my asshole. I'm going to be
Klingons.
Yeah, like little will knots, little balls of shit that cling to your ass and will not come off.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, Lori's got the idea for a cucumber.
Cucumber? That's a little big. That's a little bigger than I'd like.
Where did that idea come from, Lori?
Lori, yeah. She's obviously tried that before.
Cucumbers are so healthy, though. It's very good for you.
I hate cucumbers. That's the worst freaking vegetable in the world. I can't stand it.
I like them.
I can't stand the taste of them. I burp them for hours after. I'm like, ugh. Mrs. Hippie's always trying to fill my salad. She's like, it's filler. It's salad filler. And she'll cut them up small and throw them in there. I'm like, no.
I love
bananas. I have PTSD from bananas.
But the banana might have a better curvature.
Put it on a butt plug. I threw all my butt plugs away when I got married.
Did you used to have the ones that had the little like foxtail on it and stuff?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All of them.
Nice.
And a whole bunch until I got married. Mrs. Hippie said, you won't be needing these anymore.
Well, you've got me now.
Now I'm your butt plug. Just use your damn finger and don't be a baby. All right, I'll put it on my finger and stick a finger in my butt.
I'm not sure that your fingers are going to be strong enough to do the job.
I don't know if my fingers will get. I'm a bad guy. I can't barely get my hand around a wipe now, let alone get my finger in my hole. For fuck's sake, I'm going to need Curly Kel to come over and stick a... Curly Kel, you can come visit me today. I'm going to need you.
According to her second to last comment, she's already suffering some pain.
Making my ass hurt. Curly Kel always wants to come. She lives the closest, she says, so she's going to be the first one to meet me.
Nice.
Today's the day. Come on down. All this time I've been saying no, you can't come. I need you.
Yeah. Does somebody wish to apply for the role of applicator?
Yes. We're looking for where is my fluffer when I need him, for fuck's sake?
That's right.
Where is he?
Nice.
Oh my goodness, Curly Kel's busy today. All of a sudden, today she's busy. When I needed her all these other times, she's begging me. No, Curly Kel, I can't. I'm busy. I'm married.
But she's busy going to get high.
Sean
is the best busy you can be. Sean doesn't want the job either.
No, huh, Sean?
Oh no.
He's closer to you anyway. He'd have to be your fluffer.
Oh, there we go.
He's up.
Oh, he's in Hamilton, right?
Yeah, he's up in
Hamilton area. Nice.
Yeah. So he'll be your fluffer. and Curly Kel is the closest to me, so she's my fluffer.
Lori's in.
Oh,
Lori's in.
I knew you would help me, Lori.
And Nick will take the job too.
Nick will take the job. All right,
you have multiple offers.
I'm gonna see. I knew I would. I have lots of freaks out there.
Now, doesn't StreamYard have a feature where you can press a button and it picks a winner?
I'll do it, but only for a bit. What, Robert? I'll do it, but a bit for. He wants. I guess he probably wants a little song. I have to do it for you too. Then is that what you're saying, Robert?
Half a syringe each.
Half a syringe each. Right. It can't be any worse than any of the asses some of you've already wiped. If you had children, man, then that shit can get messy. When they shit carrots and peas across the room.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times. So glad I'm grown out of that stage. Well, I'm getting into that stage. The kids are grown out of it. I'm shitting myself more than the kids now.
What do they say? Once a man, twice a child, or twice a child, once a man, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. Right, Nick. I'm sorry. You do clean the studio. You might as well be the one to stick it in my ass as well.
Oh,
I got Nick. He's always here for me. Yeah, he cleans the boxes when we leave. He's in charge of making sure my boxes are clean. Especially, you're looking at me so confused. He's like, "What?"
Yeah.
When we go over to Clapper, it's really gross over there. I don't know if you've ever spent any time over on Clapper.
Never even heard of it.
Oh, Clapper is another site just like TikTok, except for it's like for porn, and so it's really and they you can do pretty much anything and everything over there, and it gets a little freaky at nighttime. And they have rooms that are like D&D rooms, do not disturb. And you lock the door and nobody can come in, and then they put on private shows and people throw money at them. It's kind of like a little strip club over there. Anyway, that being said, I'm sure Nurse High doesn't want you to be checking that out, so you stay away.
Well, I really wouldn't have much interest in checking it out anyway,
but anyway, when I go over there, the rooms used to be really filthy. I'd come in my box like this, and I'd be like, "Oh, DJ Nephew Nick, you didn't clean the box last night. There's cocaine on the table." And then I'd be like, "There's dirty panties on the floor over here." Fucking Nick, clean my damn box. So now he's in charge of all the boxes. He always takes care of my boxes. He makes sure that they're clean.
No, now I understand. That's
if you have any issues with your box, you just let me know. I'll take care of them. I'll yell at them.
I most likely won't find myself on Clapper anytime soon. So
even these boxes here, this box here, he cleaned your box today.
Oh, I like my box the way it is behind me.
Yeah, no, he doesn't touch nothing unless he's told.
There we go. Well, I think I got to make a move for the day.
Yeah, me too. I got to go play radio, guy.
We've had some fun today. We had a great time. Thanks, everybody, for spending some time with us. I enjoyed hearing about your trip to the dispensary.
Yes, it was.
I'm glad that that's working out fairly well for you, and that you're. And
of course, right when we're ending, you're freezing up like crazy.
Shall we do this? Shall we do this again tomorrow?
Absolutely. If you want to hang out again tomorrow, I want to hang out.
I'm up. I
love hanging out.
I enjoy this. I enjoy hanging out with everybody and shooting shit.
And it's only going to get better. It's just going to keep getting better. Oh, yeah. Today was okay. It wasn't as good as the other day. We got up close to that same number as the other day, but it's all about the views afterwards as well. So it's all about keeping an eye on all that shit as well.
I just love that people want to interact with us, and we can have some fun and a couple of laughs and talk about things that are important. So
definitely. And we're here every day, guys, so we can help you. If you got a question, please feel free to ask about any of that medical type of stuff or recreational. And we also talk about the psilocybin stuff too. Yep. So we're learning about that, and that's going to be very exciting as well. And Dr. High and I are going to come up with a gel, like an aura gel, and we're going to make it, and we're going to be rich because a lot of people don't take care of their teeth very well here in Pennsylvania. I could become a millionaire. I could become a millionaire just selling aura gel.
Thanks for chilling. See you later, Kelly, Robert. Thank you.
Everybody, thank you so much. Much love.
It's been a pleasure, Lori. And we will see you all tomorrow morning, right around 10 o'clock or earlier.
We got a late question here. Hold on. Sean wants to know more about terpenes.
Yeah, can you join us tomorrow, Sean? And we can have a deep dive into terpenes if you like.
We're going to dive into terpenes. And don't forget, Little Box is going to be on with us on Thursday. So she'll be on the whole show with us Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. on the East Coast, 9 a.m. her time.
That's going to be an interesting show. I'm really looking forward to that.
She's a great young lady. I love her to death. And Hobbies and I had her on a while ago, and it's going to be good to see her.
Well, as long as she's share her knowledge, we're going to love it.
She's like me. She doesn't like to put her face on screen very often, so she's got herself a puppet. Hobbies made her a beautiful puppet named Dabby. and Dabby is the chef over there at Little Boxes, and I can't wait to have her on and meet her and get to talk to her again, because she and I talked about that stuff, the powder stuff, for a while the last time we had her on, and she was going to help me out. And I'm excited. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Dr. High, have a fantastic rest of your day.
Thanks for the love. Appreciate it. And we'll see you all tomorrow.
Much love, everybody. Peace. All right, I'm ending this broadcast.